Luke chapter 12, verse 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. First of all, I'd like to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. And give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach us truth, which I believe is 100% truth. And the title of this lesson is going to be Putin, Revelation, Desperate People Do Desperate Things. When we talk about Putin, we talk about Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia. And Luke chapter 12, verse 2, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore, whatever ye have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which ye have spoken in the ear in closets shall be proclaimed upon housetops. So this truth that's been so long hid, man, is starting to, all the truth is starting to come out. The Lord is making these things, come to the light, that people may be able to see what's going on. And that's why we have what you call the unicorn, which brings out a lot of these. It's like an instrument that give access that we can get a lot of these truths, revealed, and things that come out that people be able to understand what is going on in the world as related to this truth. And that's one reason why, I think recently they just passed a law where they're going to try to ban TikTok. Because a lot of information is coming out through TikTok. So, it's beautiful how the Lord is lining this thing up, man. And as a matter of fact, let's go to TikTok and see if I can pull something from TikTok that I saved. Shalakia for the delay and the noise in the background. There's a lot of truth coming out in this time, man, and things are being revealed. We know we're getting close to that time, thus saith the Lord. And so we have to be on our watch, man. We have to be steady prepared, crying out to the Lord, warning our people. Yeah. But
Okay, so
we stand on the precipice of a monumental revelation, a moment that redefines not only our understanding of history, but also the path forward for our great nation. In an extraordinary discovery hidden beneath centuries of lore and legend, we have opened what can only be described as the oldest vault known to mankind. What we found within its ancient
I'm going to squeeze through there.
represents not just the cornerstone of Christian faith, but also a symbol of the universal values of love, compassion, and brotherhood. This black Jesus, whose likeness and history have been unveiled from the oldest vault, is a message to us all that divinity knows no color, that spiritual truth transcends race, and that our common humanity binds us more tightly than our differences divide us. Let this discovery remind us that history is not just the story of those who wield power, but also of those whose contributions have been overlooked or forgotten. It challenges us to re-examine what we know, to question our assumptions, and to open our heart This black Jesus, whose likeness in history is uniquely positioned to lead the world into this new era of understanding and acceptance. From this day forward, let us proclaim our nation under the guidance of black Jesus. A figure who represents not just
I'm gonna halt it right there. But as you can see, you know, now he even said, you know, black Jesus, you know, and of course these other nations are not going to acknowledge it. You know, he put the truth out there. So, you know, and it wasn't long after he put that truth out there, they miraculously have that attack, you know, over there. With, I think it was 140 something Russians were killed, you know, where they had that terrorist attack over there.
Okay, so
And so, you know, that was retaliation for him bringing that out, you know, and don't get it twisted. You know, he was saying, you know, they're gonna bring us up under, you know, one guy, you know, with transcends race. No, he pulled that out because, you know, he's at war with Babylon the Great, and, you know, pretty much with Babylon the Great and with those small hats. And, you know, so desperate people do desperate things. That's why I kind of put that in the title, because right now, out of desperation, he's bringing these truths out so people can look over to Israel and see that those not the real people that's supposed to be over there. You know, he's trying to get public support. One thing about war is gaining is very important, is getting public support. And at the same time, you know, on a worldwide stage. But let me go on with my precepts. Going out of St. Mark, chapter 4, verse 22. For there is nothing hid which shall not be manifested, neither was anything kept secret, but that it should come abroad. Verse 23, if any man have ears to hear, let him hear. So these truths are going to continually come out, man, about who we are, who they are. You know, these things, these atrocities that's happened in the past that they try to cover up, things are being revealed, you know. These genocides, things, you know, being brought out to the light, who the true devil of the world is, you know, how they've been undermining these countries, you know, by disabling their governments. All these truths are coming out, you know. So the wicked is being revealed for who he is. So we go to 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 20. And when the word that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. So the Lord is telling us in the last days, you know, even though these prophecies were written so many years ago, but the book was sealed. But here we are at the end time, and the Lord said he's going to he was telling Ezra that he was going to break the seals on the book, and the truths were going to be come out. You know, they were sealed for a certain purpose of time. Because had the truth came out early, you know, these devils would have been got rid of the Bible, man. They would have been got rid of any type of manuscript and all these things. But now that this truth is out, now he's trying to control the Bible. And that's why you have this thing called the famine of the word, where they're starting to have legislations coming out, where they're starting to ban Bible reading in the public, you know, and ban use and bringing out precepts from the Bible that condemns their wickedness. Because these truths are being revealed, man. Those dark sins are being understood by the prophets, you know, that's been proclaiming the word of Yahushua, man. That he's against all these wicked things that's going on here in the world, here in Babylon the Great mainly. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And who's the wicked, man? Who's right now ruling the whole earth, man? Got the whole earth right now in the chokehold. We're talking about these Edomites, and mainly these Amalekites who's the head tribe of these Edomites, you know. These banksters, the one that make all the decisions, you know, for the world. These so-called elites, as they like to call it. But really, they're the small hatters, man. They're the ones that's pretty much running the world. They're the chief tribe of these Edomites. Even though they don't care about these lesser Edomites, they're just really looking out for their own, mainly Amalek. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 8, and then 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 8, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy the brightness of his coming. And he's talking about consumed with the spirit of his mouth, man. The prophets out here through the Holy Spirit, through the Hamashiach, calling out the wicked of this world, man, out here on the highways and byways, and through the internet, we calling out and we destroying or pretty much cut these devils, man. We cutting off through all their lies and all their darkness and all that wickedness, And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. And that's through the mouth of the prophets, man. 2 Ezra chapter 6 verse 27 and 28. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth which hath been so long without fruit shall be declared. So truth, for so long has been it's like taking a fruit tree and you put it in darkness and it won't grow and it's just being concealed. But once you bring it out to the light, man, it grows up, it starts to bear fruit. And right now the fruit is being bared, all over the four corners of the earth, waking up the Lord's elect, the Israelites, and warning these devils of what's soon to come, what their judgment is going to be. Still in the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 7, verse 43 through 45. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of immorality for to come, wherein corruption is past. Verse 44. Intemperance is at an end, infidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up. So we're not going to be corrupted and tempted, into this wickedness and to, commit infidelity, man. So right now, we're pretty much following these laws, statutes, commandments. We are making ourselves worthy to be saints, man. Saints of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. We're cleaning up our act. We're cleaning up ourselves, man. Verse 45. Then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, nor to oppress him that hath gotten the victory. Because once we overconquer sin and the ways of this world, man, they're not going to be able to oppress us anymore. They're not going to be able to do anything to us. And this is the lie, man. And that lie they've been putting out for so long, man. That's been corrupted in the minds of our people, and that's witchcraft that's been putting over our people, convincing them, that they're ham, they come from Africa, they're a lesser level of ham, and they sold us to these Edomites. But the truth is being revealed, man. We're not the lesser of anybody, we're the Lord's chosen people. So we're going to go to the book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against our people. And who are they talking about? They're talking about all these nations, man. The Hamites who sold us into slavery to these Edomites, they knew who we were. The Moabites, they knew who we were. Ishmael, all these other tribes know who we are, everybody but us, That was their great secret. And consulted together against thy hidden ones. Verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. So they took us over here, they beat us, our language out of us, our customs out of us, our laws, statutes, commandments out of us, and told us that we were slaves, from Africa. After 3 or 4 generations of constantly doing this and breaking up the families, and pretty soon they created what we have now. A lost people who didn't know where they came from, and they have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." So the name was totally blotted out of our remembrance. As far as we knew, we just come from Africa. For they have consulted together with one consent; they are confederate against thee. So they consulted together. The Africans know that we're not the same people. That we were the Israelites, man. They are Hamites. For they have consulted together with one consent; they all came in agreement. They are confederate against thee. That's why they bring these other nations over here and put them in our neighborhoods and make merchandise off of us, because they're all in agreement. That was part of their agreement, that they'll be able to be over top of us and make money off of us. As long as they kept that lie, as long as they all agreed to it. Like I said, the truth has been coming out. It's just that Putin put it out there on the world stage, man. So it's nothing new. But most Jakes, man, most Israelites, they're not gonna believe it unless they hear it from the devil themselves, man. Because don't make no mistakes about it. Russia is they're Edomites, man, the same people. Just the Lord has pit them all against each other. And that goes all the way back to the time of Greece, when Alexander the Greek died, and he had those 4 generals, and they all took part. They all became their own their own what's the word? They all became their own generals, and Esau, Edom, started branching off in different parts. But the Lord set it up by design too. That's all by the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah. So they all became, parts of their separate entities. That's why you have Russia, you have Great Britain, you have, you have all these different fractions of Edomites, man. So we're going to go to the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from the heritage that I have given thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in land which thou knowest not. Mainly over here in the Americas, man. We didn't know anything about that land during that time. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. And we're talking about forever. It's not talking about for eternity. It's talking about, for a long period of time. We're going to be serving our enemies. We're going to be in servitude, or handmaids and handmaid to our enemies. And who's our number one enemy? Esau, Edom, the ones that's ruling over us till this day. Zechariah chapter 1, verse 15. And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. And who forwarded the affliction? Esau, Edom, man. Even though the Lord was punishing us and put us in captivity up under this devil, he forwarded the affliction, man. He went overboard with what he did to us, man. Raping, robbing, pillaging, all type of abominable acts and things that he done to our people, man. So, he pissed the Lord off by, where he did us. He did us worse than any other captivity that we've been up under. So this devil took it all the way back to Jacob and Esau, man. Him getting his revenge, being on top of us, and having us at his mercy, man. That's why he did all these wicked things to us. But he went further than what he's supposed to, so he's going to get his just due for all the wickedness that he have done, man. 2 Ezra chapter 8, verse 52. For unto you is paradise open, and the tree of life is planted. The time to come is prepared. Plenteousness, if I say that right, is made ready. A city is builded, and rest is allowed. Because right now we ain't in no rest, man. Every day is a struggle here up under this devil, man. Every day is a struggle. Anytime he can come take anything that you have. So it's really no rest, man. Even when you think you're sleeping, you still in the back of your mind wondering what might go down up under these devils. Yea, perfect goodness and wisdom. So we're going to get rest when we go into our kingdom. But right now, we have to keep our head on the swivel. Zechariah chapter 9, verse 6. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. So who's that bastard that's dwelling in Ashdod? It's talking about those small hatters that's over there proclaiming to be us, man. Them identity thieves, man. Proclaiming to be the Lord's people. And I will cut off the pride of the Philistines, and who also reside in our country. They over there doing a genocide on them now. The Palestinians, which are the Philistines. Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. And that was a prophecy, so it tells you who was going to go over there and occupy our land, when the Lord kicked us out, when he evicted us. Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works and thy tribulations and poverty, but thou art rich. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogues of Satan. So we know he's talking about, man, them identity thieves that's portraying to be us. The ones that's right now who's ruling the whole earth, man. Who everybody pays tributary to. Revelation chapter 3, verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan. And Satan, which, it breaks it down, it means adversary. Adversary to Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushua, to God. Which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. So when all things is done, when everything, comes out in the wash at the end, when Lord, regains power over the earth, which he never really lost, but when he reclaimed power to the rightful owners, these devils going to be worshiping at our feet, man. And that's what you talk about, where they going to kiss our feet. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. And that's what these devils done, man. Knowing that they're the wicked, but they portray themselves as being the good of the earth, man. That them being angels, them being, the true people of the Lord, portraying themselves as being the true people of the Lord. So they made themselves like they're the righteous one and we're being the wicked. So they done pretty much flipped the script on us, which they portray in their Hollywood movies, which they own, or in the music that they own. And they always portray us as being the bad guy, the wicked. They always demonizing Jacob. And don't get it wrong, our people really have been going off up under these devils, man. That's the 2/3 of our people that's going to have to be destroyed. But it's not really in our nature, but, the Lord set it up that way. It's really in their nature to be as wicked as they are, man. That's why they was driven from all the other nations into the Caucasus Mountains time before, man, because they couldn't reside with these other nations, man. They saw how wicked and deceiving and conniving they were. But now they done manipulated the whole world stage, they manipulated themselves into ruling over the whole earth. But the Lord set them up to do it. The Lord set them up, all for a reason, so the Lord could magnify his glory, in the end. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14. And no marvel, for Satan himself transformed into an angel of light. Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So what did they do back in late 1490 to the early 1500s? They started doing what they call iconoclasm, where they started painting over the old relics, the images of our people, and that's what they call whitewashing. And they whitewashed all the images and painted them as being white, so-called white, images of their people, the Edomites. And you go back to Serapis Crispus or Caesar Borgia, and You know, that goes into that picture that we have seeing all in the nigger homes, you know, back in the 70s and 80s, you know, of that Caesar Borgia, this white so-called white Jesus Christ with blonde hair, blue eyes, you know, looking all effeminate, which he was a homosexual. Um, you know, in not many of our homes that people still worship, still to this day, man. You go over to the Hamites land over there in Africa, you know, they still got that image. Down in the South Americas, you know, with the Northern Kingdom, you know, they still worship that image still to this day, man. Even though the truth is coming out, and they still worship it, you know. Even though these icons coming out and relics, our people still don't want to believe, man. And one thing you hear the Edomites talking about, you know, color. Well, color really doesn't. It's really not about color, you know. It's not about color. They were the ones that made it about color. That's why they did these images, because they knew it was a psychological image that was going to affect the minds of our people through the propaganda and through the hard bondage that they enforced on our people. And they beat our religion out of us and who we were, and, you know, and our languages and all that. So they want to say, oh, now, because you see a lot of the comments, people talking, well, color really don't matter, you know, it doesn't matter. But, you know, that's this devil, man. He has that slick tongue. Yeah, color does matter. It's going to matter when Yahushua comes back and crack them clouds. Because a lot of people, man, they still don't want to believe, you know. But they're going to believe that day when the Lord comes back, man. And it goes all the way back to the time which they call the Renaissance. That's the devil, you know, coming back out of the ashes, their phoenix, and coming back into power again through the Grecians. And Renaissance is a French word meaning rebirth. And that's why they did their iconoclasm. They said we can't have pictures of a dark Messiah floating around here, and we saying that we're superior to these other nations. How are we going to do that? You know, a lot of these Edomites, you know, the lower level Edomites, they didn't know, but now they do know. Now they are learning, but they didn't realize that they had the Lord's people in their possession. And even though they do know now, they still, you know, they're not going to change their ways, man. They still going to be wicked as hell. They still going to look down on us and try to disprove all these facts and that's coming out, you know. They're going to still try to reject it. But, you know, they holding back on those comments because, you know, you know, that really kind of fucked them up when Putin opened up those archives, man, and brought those images out. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed. Who's that wicked? Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, the gospel, talking about the gospel, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So who's that wicked he's talking about? So we're going to Obadiah chapter 1, verse 3. And the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? You know, and that's that pride. Who has that kind of pride walking the earth right now, thinking that he's, you know, untouchable, that he can, that he can talk that way, you know, which he can tell other nations, I'll turn you back into the Stone Ages. Who has that kind of power, man? That he can pull up an image of a certain individual's walking and just kind of obliterate them, man. Just turn them into an ink spot. That's these devils, man. They're trying to be like the Most High Power. And the Lord gave them this technology to be able to do this thing, man, just to puff him up even more. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 3, the pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down? And like I said, they were driven into the Caucasus Mountains, you know, and they come from Mount Seir or Petra. You know, that's their homeland. So Obadiah chapter 1, verse 4. No, Shalaki, verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Will they not have stolen till they had enough? If the gate gatherers came to thee, will they not leave some grapes? How are things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things stored up? So who's that, that has that appetite for nothing but greed and just not being able to satisfy his thirst for, taking and for stealing? That's Esau Edom. And we know that when he came over here to the Americas, man, when he approached the native tribes over here, they say, okay, we can share with you, we can give you food, and we can share the land, which was a big mistake. And the whole time in his mind, he was thinking how he could take all the land. He didn't just want some of the land. He didn't want to be able to survive. He wanted to take all the land and also take the inhabitants and put them in his possession. And that's how he was thinking, man. That's how the devil thinks. So that's telling you who that wicked was that we spoke of. And then shall the wicked be revealed. Verse 16, how are things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things stored up? Now, how we know this devil who he is? By his track record, man. He has a long track record of being a conniving devil, man, being a deceiver, being the wicked of the earth. So he has a long track record. He can't hide his track record, because now all the truth is coming out through social media, through the airways, and the Lord has opened up and revealed these things, man. So people know who he is. They know that when he comes to your country, he's not just coming there to bring peace. He's coming there to steal your resources. And look what he's done to all these other nations, these other dark nations, man, wherever he's gone. Look what he's doing now down there in Haiti, which he has always been doing in Haiti. But he's went over there, stole the resources. He broke up the government. He created all type of confusion down there, where people are fighting and gangs wars are breaking out, where he destabilized the government. So he come in there and steal all those resources, because we know now that we know that Haiti has, it's not, they say it's the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, but kind of find out it's actually the richest country in the Western Hemisphere with all its resources. It's loaded with gold. Matter of fact, it has almost more gold than Venezuela. It has a mountain of gold, a mountain of this type of material, a metal material that came down from a meteorite. And so now they trying to get over there and steal all the resources out by still keeping the people poor. And that shows you the devil, man. Instead of him breaking them off, the people on that little island be able to live decently, he'd rather put them in overt poverty and pretty much trying to genocide them out of their own land. So, that shows you the devil, man. He's not going to finish stealing until he take everything, until he destroy the people that's on Haiti, on that island, man. Now, he's been known for that. Look, same thing he done over to Africa. We know that destabilized the economies, this people, and he ended up stealing all the resources, man. He give them their white Jesus, and he walks out with all the resources. Y'all can see that in some of the the cartoons that they depict, of them doing that, give them the white Jesus, and they walking out with all the gold, silver, and all the oil and everything from the countries of Africa. And one thing they do, they come over there, send their what they call economic hitmen. They come over there and try to make a deal with them, and if they're not going to get in with the deal, then they send people over there to destabilize the country, and usually they're going to assassinate the leader if he doesn't bite, if he doesn't give in to whatever they're trying to sell him, which was always going to be a bad deal, especially for the people. You see what they did to the Haitian president not too long ago. I think a little over a year ago. He went over there and took that president out. And now you see the country's been in turmoil ever since. People wondering why Haiti can't get it together. You always say, why Haiti can't get it together? Because these devils, man, he's keeping that place destabilized so he can continue to go over there and steal. And at the end of the day, it's all set up by Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, man. Till the Lord said, when he's ready to come over there, when the Lord's ready to come back, man, all that shit is gonna be going to be put to an end. Prophet Isaiah chapter 14, verse 13. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. And who's all up in the heavens? I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, Yahweh. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Verse 14, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. So you got their so-called space stations up there. There's satellites, and they're trying to be like God, man. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Verse 16, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? And that's what we're going to say. That's what our kids are going to say. When we give them a history lesson, man, we're gonna show them these Edomites. When they go back to their true level, their base level, they say, "This is the man that did all that." Yeah, this level right here, man. These guys that look like these Rockefellers and Rothschilds. They're crafty, but they weaklings, man. It's hard to believe that they had that much power to control and do what they do to the whole world, man. Verse 16, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the houses of the prisoners? And who are them prisoners? You Israelites, you so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Not only in the prison houses, but we prisoners in our captivity up under this devil, man. He won't let us go. He's going to hold us prisoner to Yahweh Shah, which already paid the price for us, and they still won't release us. Come back and rescue us from the hands of these devils, man. And unfortunately, all Israel not going to be saved, here in Babylon the Great. Only the elect, 2/3, going to be destroyed, right along with the heathen. We're going to go to 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 20. And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then shall I show these tokens. The books shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. And that's right now, we're in that time where the books has been opened, man. I think Elder Apostle Tahar said that the books were open. I think it was somewhere in the 1960s. That's when the Lord revealed the books, started opening up the books, and His truth is starting to come out. Might have been a little earlier than that, I'm not sure. But that's when the seals was broken on the book. Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. It's the Lord, this the angel talking to Ezra. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. So how do we measure the time? We go back through these scriptures, man, through these prophecies. That's where we know we at in the scale of the end of this world. Once these prophecies start unfolding, we know where we at. When you start saying Esau doing certain things, like bringing in the MOTB, the family of the word, we know we're very close to the end. We're in the end time, man. Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest, talking about Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, will begin to visit the world which He made. Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. It's all type of uproars, all over the world. Haiti, just for one. We had uproars here a few years back during the pandemic time. Behind the George Floyd thing. Over there in Europe, all type of uproars. All down in the Caribbean, South America, different type of uproars, man. So we know it's that about that time for our Lord to return. 2 Ezra chapter 9 verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and the end is manifest. So the end of this world is coming to an end, and the beginning of a whole new world is about to take place, man. And the whole world is not going to be destroyed during this time, just this world system. But a part of the world is going to be destroyed. It's going to be a desert wasteland, and that's going to be Babylon the Great. That door that's the door to Babylon. 2 Ezra chapter 15 verse 5. Behold, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Verse 6. For the wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So the Lord said these things are going to happen, and but the Lord, it's like a measuring cup. It's now to the point where it's fulfilled of iniquity all over the earth, man. It's worse now than it has ever been, in any time in history. Worse even than it was in the time of Sodom and Gomorrah. And who's the main one that's pushing this wickedness and this iniquity all over the earth? Mainly here in Babylon the Great, man. Is where it's mainly coming out of, man. She pushes her philosophy and all this wickedness to these other nations. Like they sanction in Africa right now, certain parts of Africa, because they want to accept the LGBT lifestyle, man. They don't want to accept sodomy in their nation. So they say they're going to starve the people out until they do accept. That shows you who the wicked is, man. Not only that, just all type of things that they pushing, man, in these places, man. Feminism, abortion, all type of wickedness, man, that this devil's been pushing everywhere. So the Lord's going to bring that to an end. 2 Ezra chapter 15 verse 8. I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth out unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And who's those crying out continually? The Lord's elect, man. The men of the Lord, man, is crying out. The Lord's saints crying out to the Lord, man, to that He come and deliver us, from out of this all this iniquity that's all around us. You can't escape it anymore. You turn on the TV, it's all over the TV, all in the music. You go to the store, you see it all in the stores. People walking around holding hands, men and women and women. Now they don't even hide it anymore. It's just all out in the open, man. These transformers all over the damn place, and they pushing on the kids. So we crying out to the Lord, man. And then we warning these Edomites, the Lord is coming back, man. Stop doing this wickedness, which we know they're not. And we tell them what their judgment is going to be, and they still, they still pushing forward. That's that pride that we talked about earlier. He think that he's never been touched, so he figured who's going to put hands on him. Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. So woe is talking about something bad. So woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. He's talking about the insurrection, man. We're talking about the time of Jacob's trouble, and the Lord is going to put it in place, but He's going to use these devils to do it. And that's what they're doing right now by opening up the borders. You got all these people coming over here right now. We're going through through a hard time in this country, but yet they're bringing people in here like they got something, like we can really provide for them, which they're not even providing for their own people, which they really could, but they're not going to do it. And they're doing it for a purpose, man, so they can bring in their troops in here at the same time and create this chaos and this derision. And they can come in with these new troops, these UN troops, and they're going to reestablish a new order over the earth, mainly here in Babylon the Great. They're going to create this chaos all over the world, but mainly in Babylon the Great. So they can bring in their draconian laws, man, these harsh rules, that you're going to have to live by, and which eventually going to lead to the MOTB. which is spoken of in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. In order to be able to buy and sell, you're gonna have to tie into the society, man. It's the digital world that they're gonna force us into. Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So they're not going to listen to, same as it was, and that was just a small scale of it. We had the uprisings doing the George Floyd thing, which we know he was a wicked ass nigga. And all that was probably orchestrated as well to set the things in motion. But, so we have to be prepared for what's about to happen, man. You talk about the time of Jacob's trouble. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And we saw that during that time. They was pretty much blocking off certain cities in order to be able to go in. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And these women with the feminism ideology think she don't need a man and she can do it all her own. When all hell break loose and there's no telephones, there are no emergency services, these women are going to be left to their own devices, man. And we know they're going to be an easy target for whatever's out here roaming, whatever's looking for easy spoil. And the Lord has convinced mainly our women, mainly the nigger woman, the Judite woman, to think that she don't need a covering. And with her not having that covering, man, she's going to be left very vulnerable out here in that time, man. And especially for all the wickedness she done to her men. So a lot of these men during that time, they're going to come and get their payback. Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 56. Like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord Yahweh, even so shall Yahweh do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. So all that wickedness and hell they didn't put on us, man, they're going to get it back twofold, man. Them having us in all type of derision, having us in bondage, working the hell out of us, to I think our life expectancy was like to 38 or 39, working us to death, man. And so they're going to get the same thing, they're going to be our slaves. That's called recompense. We don't want what's that thing, they talking about fighting for reparations. Hell with some reparations. We want recompense. We want them as slaves. They can't pay us enough money back for what they've done to our ancestors, which really was us in the reincarnation, if you can receive it. Hell, I want my slaves just like they had theirs, And we're going to use them to help build back our kingdom. Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against God and the land of Magog, that the chief prince and Meshech of Tubal and prophecy against him. Who's God? He's talking about the Russians. They're the modern day, that's who they go back to, God. And Magog, the land of Magog. That's their land. Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and will bring thee forth in thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company of bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. And the sword is talking about these modern day weapons, not just the physical sword that they had back then. And the Lord's got hooks in the jaws. What's them hooks in the jaws? Them over there creating that disturbance what they're doing over in Ukraine, that Babylon the Great has been doing over there, where they've been doing, they've been poking the bear, so to speak, and Russia, tell them, just draw the line. You can't turn them into NATO, and you can't bring those weapons and stuff over there. It's going to be the neutral place. But what did Babylon the Great, kept pushing the boundaries, and still pushing the boundaries. So now, Russia, leaving Russia to no point where Russia's going to react. But the Lord set it up that way. He set these devils over there to act and antagonize Gog, man. And that's them hooks that's in his jaw that's drawing him to war. He don't really want to go to war, but he ain't going to have no choice because the Lord has already ordained it to happen, man. It's been written in the scriptures. Revelation chapter 13, verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like a leopard, and his feet were as feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. So who was the leopard, man? The leopard's talking about the Grecians through Alexander the Great, because I think he wore something like a leopard cape, so that he was known like as the leopard. He was the one that started off their empire, their Renaissance. Then after him, who's going to be the last part of the stage of this beast? And it goes down. Anytime you talk about the feet, you talk about the end of a thing. And the last of it is going to be the bear. And who's the bear? And you notice I have on this garment when I purchased it, I didn't realize that it has the eagle on the front. You know what that symbolizes. And then it has the bear on the back. And the bear is going to finish up, man. He's going to do the work of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. But don't get it twisted. They're Edomites. So they're going to meet their end as well. Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. And that's spiritual, man. Talking about the heel. So Jacob came out first, and Esau came out first, and Jacob Shalaki. Esau came out first, and Jacob came out holding his heel. That means Esau's going to be in rulership, but Jacob's going to come after him. It's going to be that perpetual rulership once we take him out of power. Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So it's telling you right there. Psalms chapter 104, verse 9. Thou hast set a bound that they may not pass over, that they turn not again to cover the earth. So the Lord has set a bound, man. Just like it last ocean, it can't go past that boundary mark. That's the Lord ordained it to go past, but he's already said they can't go past that timeline that the Lord already set. Nobody know that time but Yahweh. Not even the Son, Yahushua, knows. But we know it's soon to come because we know, according to prophecy, according to Scripture. That's how we measure the time and know where we're at. We're at the end of his thing. His rulership, his harsh, crazy rulership that he has, man. He was one of the worst rulers over the earth, man. He damn near destroyed the earth in his rulership. And the Lord let him go on, he would destroy the whole earth. So that's how you know who he is, man. He was a base man. The Lord, you give somebody who's like a base man, you give him a lot of power and money, you see how they would destroy damn near anything. It's like giving a retarded child shalaki. You get somebody that's has no sense, and you give them a whole lot of money and power and see what they're gonna do. And that's what he did with Esau Edom, man. He was like a base man in the caves, man. But the Lord showed his power, say I could take him and put him and have him rule over the whole earth. That's to show the Lord's power. And now he's got him where he's at now. The Lord's going to take him out of power, so just show how easy the Lord can do it. Even with all this technology and advanced technology that he has that's puffing him up, thinking that he can be like the Most High power, the Lord is easily going to take him out, man. And it's going to take him just 1 hour to do it. Acts chapter 2, verse 19. And I will show wonders in heaven above, and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor and smoke. Verse 20. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and notable day of the Lord come. Anytime there's always been a significant event that happened in history, it's always been signs in the heavens. Usually it's some type of solar or lunar eclipse, with the blood moons and all that. And we have many of those blood moons and all that coming up. And like say we just had a solar eclipse, a little less than 7 years ago, a little over 6 years ago, about six. Well, I think one of the brothers broke it down, 6 years, 6 months, and 6 days when we had our last solar eclipse here in Babylon the Great. And now we're about to have this other one, this last one and it's supposed to form an X over the Americas, man. So it definitely has some type of significance to it. And that's some of one of the wonders that's happening. So you think this is it's supposed to happen on April 8th. So they're giving out all these warnings and prepare. And so we know we at the end of this man's time, man. The Lord is showing it through the heavens. Luke chapter 21, verse 20. Luke chapter 21, verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, the perplexity, the sea, and waves roaring. Luke 21, verse 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your head, for your redemption draweth nigh. So that crying out to the Lord, man, we're going to see our redemption during that time, man. We get close to that time where we're going to be redeemed. Lord will, we are the elect. But let me see if I can pull something on that April 8th thing. Might have to go to TikTok. Put the solar eclipse. It's all over TikTok. That's why I'm trying to get rid of this thing.
According to GreatAmericanEclipse.com, the landfall of the eclipse will be Isla Socorro.
Right, there we go.
Did you know that the solar eclipse happening on April 8th is a lot more crucial than you think? Jesus spoke about Matthew that this evil, adulterous generation seeks for a sign, but no sign shall be given to it except for the sign that happened in the days of the prophet Jonah. In Luke, it says, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be as the coming of the Son of Man. But you will not believe the path of the solar eclipse will take. It'll cross over several towns named Nineveh and even Rapture, Indiana. But that's not even the crazy part. It also goes over the ark, and it'll happen under the constellation Cetus, which means whale, which is what swallowed up Jonah. Subscribe right now if you want to learn more about Jesus and...
But yeah, that's...
Did you...
Just found this video of the 2017 solar eclipse.
Like I said, the last one was
A lot of
2017.
people are starting to believe that something major is going to happen in our world that's directly correlated with the solar eclipse coming up in April. This started after reports began circulating that extensive measures will be taken prior to the solar eclipse, including school closures, the National Guard being deployed in some counties, and officials in Texas warning people to stock up prior to the event. And even though most of these measures are being taken in preparation for the large crowd that the solar eclipse will draw in, this has not stopped people from believing that some of these measures are a bit extreme and coming up with theories that something more is happening on the day than we're being told. Theories range from some people believing that the U.S. will get hit with a solar storm, knocking out the power grid or internet, to others believing that the world is about to go through 3 days of complete darkness and then enter a new age. Now, obviously, we won't know for sure if anything will happen until...
And don't get it twisted. It's just a sign to let us know that the Lord, this society is about to come to an end, man. And we know that the Lord is ushering this new, his new kingdom. But don't think these devils won't use it to their advantage, try to create an event or something, because all this information is coming out on them. So they got to have some type of distraction to distract, the people's minds off of these things that's being revealed, man, these revelations. And so they might try to plan some stuff during that day, these devils who's in charge. So just be prepared,
You haven't been able to hear.
A lot of people are starting to...
very mindful during this time that we in. But we know the time is near. As scriptures told us, lift up your heads and your redemption draweth nigh. Matthew chapter 13, verse 16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, and for they hear. So all this information we being able to see and hear during this time, it's a beautiful time to be in, man. I can imagine when I was younger, you know, not having privy to this type of information of things that's going out, man, what's being revealed and who we are. It's a glorious time to be in, because think about all those generations of our people here in Babylon that didn't have this understanding, but we're that generation that things are being revealed to us. Verse 17, for verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. So we're in blessed time, man. This truth that's coming out, man, it comforts us in these times of wickedness that that we're living in, because we know what the Lord said He's going to do for His elect. We know what the promise is. We're going to be delivered, and all that hell is about to break loose. Lord will that we are the chosen. St. Matthew chapter 24, verse 21. For then shall the great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. And you notice how the time is going by so fast, man. I remember when 2024, just came in, and here we are already going into April. A quarter of the year is already passed, man. So the Lord's definitely sped up the time. Because if you don't speed up the time, man, you let His devil continue to have his way, it won't be nobody left here on the earth. And we know that through the chemicals, through the poisons that he's doing, through the genetically modified food, through the chemtrails, through the water, everything. This man had turned everything into a weapon. And the Lord don't intervene, man, it won't be nobody left. His fury, the Shalakia. Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. The devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So that's why, the devil is getting wild. That's why he's doing all this wickedness during this time. Because he ain't got long, man. He's like that badass kid on the basketball court who got his basketball, and nobody else has a basketball, because he can't be Michael Jordan. He can't get the ball all the time. He's gonna take his ball and leave. And that's how this devil is. He's coming out of power, man, because he can't be in the power seat. He'll blow the whole thing up first. Psalms chapter 2, verse 1. We're going to read on down to verse 4. Why do the heathen rage? Who's the heathen? All these other nations, mainly Esau, Edom. And the people imagine a vain thing. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and against His anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder, and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, because Lord, it's comical to Him to watch them doing the things that they do. Yahweh shall have them in derision. So Him trying to destroy us, the Lord is putting this man in derision, man. He's got him. Lord is running circles around him, and he can't keep up. Like these things that's being revealed, man. These revelations. He's losing his mind, man. He's not getting sleep at night. All these things are orchestrated by our power, man. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Revelation chapter 11, verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh. Verse 14, Revelation chapter 6, verse 14. And the heavens departed, and a scroll, when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their place. So it's talking about World War III. And when we talked back earlier about Gog, the Lord putting them hook in his jaws, talking about Russia, He's drawing them to the battlefield, man. And He's using Babylon to do it. And that's going to him releasing those ICBM missiles. I think I just saw a report now where he just sent one of those hypersonic missiles that he have that he said, we can't shoot down because they move so fast. He just used one of them in Ukraine, as retaliation for their the terrorist attack that they had. So the Lord is going to use to Russia to to act on his behalf, to put in that work. But the Lord, don't get it twisted. The Lord's still coming down with the chariots, man, and going to put in his work as well. Isaiah chapter 54, verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith and the bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. And that goes all the way back to if you saw the movie where they talk about the atomic bomb, Oppenheimer. The Lord gave them that power to put those weapons together, man. Albert Einstein, all those guys. He created those scientists he's referring to as being the smith that created the weapons of war. Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh will smite all people that have fought against Jerusalem. We are a people before we are land. It's talking about the people. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongues shall consume away in their mouths. What is that talking about? It's talking about that nuclear weapon, man. Once it's set off, it's like a microwave. It just evaporates everything right there on the spot. And if you want to, you go back to the movie Terminator. Might have been Terminator 3 when Sarah Connor was holding onto the fence, and you can see her seeing the bomb go off and her just pretty much consuming away right there in her flesh. Isaiah chapter 34, verse 4. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. So the Lord is predicting, this way back then, they predicting nuclear weapons, nuclear war. And all their hosts shall fall down, and a leaf falleth off from the vine, and as fallen fig from the fig trees. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Was that sword is talking about those ICBM weapons, man. It's going to be launched from all over the earth, man. And upon the people of my curse of judgment. Who's the people of his curse? Talking about these Edomites, mainly over here in Babylon the Great. The wicked. Isaiah 34 and 6. The sword of the Lord Yahweh is filled with blood. It is made fat with the fatness, and with the blood of the lambs and goats, and with the fat and kidneys of rams. For the Lord Yahweh hath a sacrifice in Bozrah, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Like I said, we are a people before we are land. A people for a land first. And it's talking about that great sacrifice, man. That's going to have to be blood spilled on the land. That's going to be the sacrifice. And America's going to be that altar. 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 13. For the strong is the right hand that beareth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss. For they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Verse 16. 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 16. As an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Thus saith the Lord, man. The book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 7. Surely the Lord God Yahweh will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. So all these things, these dark sayings have been revealed unto the prophets for the time of the Lord's judgment, man, to warn our people. To warn the people. Amos chapter 9, verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. So the Lord is raising up his elect, man. Amos chapter 9, verse 15. And I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land which I have given them, saith the Lord thy God, Yahweh. So, the Lord is bringing this thing to an end, man. Lord will, it'd be very soon, man. It could have been yesterday, man. I would not object. So get ready, man. Be prepared for many distractions coming our way, because once these truths continue to come out, Esau got to react. And like I said at the beginning, man, a desperate man or desperate people do desperate things. So right now, he's in desperation mode, man. Ain't no telling what the hell he might do next. So be prepared any day, man. He might crash the banks. He might do an EMP strike on himself, and blame it on one of these other nations. Anything can happen. Crash the system, anything. You don't know how this devil's going to react, man. So just be prepared. All these things all really are distractions too, because all this truth coming out is trying to divert our people from what they need to be focusing on. So with that being said, man, all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai. I pray this lesson edifying with that. Say shalom.